If you're a voiceover artist out there or an on-camera commercial or theatrical actor, and you feel like you're being lost in a sea of other similar faces and similar voices, this episode is for you. This is something that I learned while I was in class this week that has transformed my outlook when it comes to my career, and I hope that it will do the same for you. Welcome back to another episode of Artist Over Actor, the podcast that teaches you how to be an artist first and then utilize that artistry for whatever you want to go into. I'm your host, Javon, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. We know that there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people out there who want to be voiceover artists, who want to be actors, who might have very similar vocal prints, very similar vocal styles, very similar approaches when it comes to actually how they digest a script and actually go through and move through the words. So how could we possibly differentiate ourselves? When we get an audition and there are 700 submissions and the casting director only has enough time to look through 5 to 10 seconds of each of them, how do we differentiate ourselves from everybody else? There's one important thing that I want to start with, and that is the way to do that is to avoid, at all costs, comparison. You see, comparison is a trap. All right, please excuse the change of environment. We had to move outside because my wife came home, and that is the result of living in a travel trailer. So, comparison. Comparison really is, as they say, the thief of all joy. You see, you can only ever be yourself, and that seems like something that's very obvious, but you'd be surprised how many times I hear someone say, well, I can never be the next Meryl Streep, right? I can never be the next insert actor here, insert actor here. Well, you're not going to be, you're not supposed to be, you're not destined to be. And that person is already that person. This is a creative endeavor, a creative pursuit, in which when we are building our character, when we're running through our script, running through our lines, we need to understand how to put ourselves into the scenario, into the situation. That, at the end of the day, is really what whether it be a casting director, a director, whether it be the producers on the call, that's really what they're looking for. People are looking for your interpretation of the lines, the words. After all, that is what they are trying to get you to do. Bring the script to life how you can, with your own experience, with your own personality, with your own unique take on it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can go ahead and do whatever you want. When people say make bold choices, it doesn't mean just throw shit at the wall and just do zany, wacky things, right? You still need to be within the specifications of the project. So whether that be grounded, cartoony, zany, it depends on the network as well. Nickelodeon is very different from Pixar, is very different from Disney. So you need to know these things, but they're all based on you. When Robert Pattinson was doing Batman, the thing that I couldn't get away from was everybody saying that he couldn't be Batman because there already was a Batman. But his own unique take on the character, along with, of course, the director, you can't say it was just him alone who did the unique take. It was also the writing and the direction of the whole project, but he was completely different. It was his take on the character. Nobody else's. You can say it was influenced by past performances, but it was his own. We need to learn, as artists, as creators, as creative individuals, to take our own creative risks by putting ourselves in our project. And at the end of the day, that's all that people are looking for. They're looking to see what you can do with the words, the line, and the project that you're given. That's number one. Stop comparing. Number two, the second thing that makes the biggest difference that I hope will help you get out of seeing yourself as a wash in a sea of people is the thing that differentiates an artist from an actor is not caring about the words. Now, I know that sounds really weird. All we do is read words. Of course, whether you are on screen or a voiceover artist, all you're doing is words. But that's not true. You see, the one thing that I've gained from my 4 months at the Stella Adler Academy is an appreciation and an understanding for the fact that the words and the actions don't really fully matter because they don't exist without the intention and the backstory that you have in your body, in your mind. So when it comes to reading something like, Westinghouse generators are the best generators on the market, anybody can approach it and just say those words. And that's probably what casting directors are getting. They're probably getting people who are thinking, okay, what word should I hit? Westinghouse generators are the best generators. Okay? Westinghouse generators are the best generators. All right, that's another way to say it. Westinghouse generators are the best generators. Those are all playing the words. And you're probably going to have casting directors, people who are running projects who are inundated with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of takes of that over and over and over. The real difference is when you start to do the work to put those words, put those lines, give them meaning so that when you're saying it, you're not just playing the words. You're not just playing the order and the difference of the words. You're seeing physically, and those words just naturally come out as a result. Now, this sounds all very confusing because it is. This is a part of the homework and the part of the thing that makes a professional voiceover artist who gets gigs, who is constantly out and about. This is what differentiates someone who is an artist from someone who is simply an actor. Their ability to internalize these words and actually bring them to life because they're not just saying the words anymore. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a massive hurricane. Your power's out. Your power's been out for 5 days. And you're not alone in your house. It is you, your spouse, and your 2 kids. Let's throw in a dog. All of these people have names. Timmy, he's about 6 years old. Samantha, she's 5. And it's winter. It's cold, you know? Yeah, you have a fireplace, but you have to drive into town to get supplies. Everything is wrecked. And there's only one thing that's been keeping you going. Your Westinghouse generator. It has been running steadily, no problems. It's been running for days straight, and it's been giving you the necessary power for you to be able to cook, be able to live your life, and keep your family safe. Now you sit with that and you internalize that. And you just know that the script is there. You're not reading the words, you're saying the thing based on what is sitting inside of you. And you see it all, and you just say that Westinghouse is the best generator. It's just a matter of fact. It's no longer playing words. You're actually saying the thing. Removing the comparison from your mind, as well as doing the work to internalize the words in your script, is the thing, or are the things, that make the biggest difference when it comes to actually separating yourself from the seas of other people who are auditioning and submitting. And it takes time. Of course, you're not going to be able to do this every single time. If you've got like 20 auditions to hit a day, you don't have time necessarily to sit down and internalize each and every one of them. But you can learn how to more quickly do things like this and set up subtle, smaller points so that you can go through them. And when you do that, you're going to finally see that you are starting to hear back more. You're going to see that 6 months ago I auditioned for this project and I didn't get it, but the casting director reached out to me because they thought I'd be perfect for something else. I've had that started happening now. You're going to see that you actually start to get callbacks. Whether you get the final gig or not is not up to you. It's up to a litany of other things, but you're actually going to start to be able to get traction because you're no longer trying to be someone else, and you're actually internalizing your work. Thank you so much for joining in on another episode. These are the most important things that I have learned thus far at the Stellar Adler Academy. So happy to be there, and I'll catch you in the next episode.